How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Hope you all had a really good weekend. So in this episode, what I'm going to be doing is pretty much talking you guys through the concepts of liquidity and how to spot it, and just a few little ways that I use, highs and lows, and just the concept of different sort of types of liquidity traps to allow you to avoid being on the wrong side of the market, and understanding why a certain high or low may break, and then price may continue in the direction that you thought. So I'm going to get straight on into it, and yeah, we'll just go from there. And I'll talk you through some different examples on euro dollar, and yeah, it's going to be good. So as we go over here, we'll start over here. Right, now what I'm looking at here, right, is obviously the concept of just breaks of structure and highs and lows, right? Now, what I'm looking at is this break of structure just in here. Right, now at this point in time, that would have been my low, and this would have been my high. Now, as we break again here, right, you can see that we've pulled up, and then we've broken lower. What I tend to look at, right, is when it breaks the low, what are the top of the wicks showing me, and was there a liquidity sweep when it broke, right? So when we're looking at this, you can quite clearly see here, right, that none of these wicks break above the previous one. So if I just do this, okay, what you can see is that every single one of these wicks didn't break the previous high. This wick didn't break the previous high. This wick didn't break the previous high. This one was a double top. This one didn't break that one. And then we broke the low. So, seeing as we didn't actually sweep any liquidity before breaking lower, it's highly likely now that this is the liquidity that's just been generated, right? So as this breaks out, you'll get a lot of FOMO traders and people selling early. And what they'll do is it will then come up and they'll take them out. There'll be a lot of stops and a lot of buy orders resting here, buy stop orders, so that when price actually comes up, it will liquidate all of this, and then you'll get the true sell-offs here where you can see the actual order flow coming in before the move lower. And that's what you can see happening here, right? So if I was just to take these arrows off the screen, so now this high here becomes the liquidity, right? And you can expect that because we broke this low here and we didn't sweep anything, this whole range is now liquidity. So from that whole area is now liquidity, right? I wouldn't look for sales in here because it didn't liquidate anything. So wait for it to break above the high, and then you'll see the true move, probably something in here on a lower time frame, and that'll be like your actual supply that holds. And then when it breaks again, that's your true break. So then as we come back up, right, so this becomes my high, that becomes my low, and then you can see that eventually we do actually break down properly, and then we actually see the real moves lower, right, after we've actually swept this liquidity. And you can see that this the same thing repeating itself on several different occasions. I'll show you another one here. Okay, so it's the same thing again here, right, guys? So you've got, this would have been my low, and this would have been my high, right? We then pull up here, counter trend, and then let me just pop that back here. Yeah, you can see that we pull up here, right, counter trend, and then we break the low again. But if you look at the highs of the wicks, did we sweep any liquidity before we broke lower? And the answer again is no, right? You can see that this candle here didn't break this high. And you can then see this candle here didn't break that high. And then we broke the low. So for me now, again, this becomes liquidity. And I wouldn't look for sales in here because these are the early traders where it's initially broke lower. And it's making you think that, this could be a strong high or this is the range to use, when it's not. Even though it's gone counter trend, there's no liquidity being swept. So now this becomes the liquidity. You can see as a minimum, we break this point in here. And then obviously we don't have to hold. We can just break higher, which we go on to do. Obviously at the time, my low would have been here, and my high would have been here. So then you can see we do get a break up here, and then we start mitigating higher anyway. So it's a good thing to use, guys. It keeps you out of trouble when you spot it, because you know sometimes you'll get like a couple of ranges. You know, you might get something like this. Yeah, you might get something like that, right, where you get, you know, a break of structure the first time, and then you'll get like a second break of structure, something like this, and then suddenly you'll see price just break this. It'll break higher, and then it'll probably go down, and you'll be asking yourself, okay, well, why didn't this range hold? And if you look, you'll probably see that, you know, the highs of these candles, probably it was similar to this, where it didn't take the previous one out. So then this became the liquidity, which means that this was going to get swept, and then you would have seen the true move. Probably you'd have your low here, and your high probably would have been here, and then you'll see this get run, and you'll be saying to yourself, okay, well, why didn't the second range hold? And it would just be the fact that we didn't sweep anything before we broke lower. So then it becomes the liquidity, and then you see the move lower. So it's just understanding that concept, which, you know, it's quite a good tool to use, and it will keep you out of certain ranges. I'll see if I can find another example. I've got another one over here. So again, the same thing again, just in here. So you can see at the time I would have had, my low would have been here, my high would have been here, right? You can see we go counter trend, and then we break the low. But again, this high didn't break the previous. This high didn't break the previous, and then we broke the low, right? So at the time, this is now telling me that this is weak. This isn't anything important. This is my low. This is still my high up here. And all that's happened is we've just had a break of structure, right? So we've had a break of structure, well, sort of from this pullback and then a break lower. This becomes the liquidity. So at a minimum, you want to see that get swept. And then it's just a matter of, okay, is this now going to hold when we come into here to go lower? Or are we just going to break straight through? And it's just understanding that concept of where the liquidity is actually resting. So, yeah, I don't know if I've got any more examples currently on the screen. No, nothing more that I've marked up. But you can see, guys, you can see how it's working. It's something to keep an eye on. I use it quite a lot when I'm trading the 15-minute sort of structural points, my highs and my lows. If I ever notice that, you know, the liquidity hasn't been taken, then I tend to avoid trading that range, maybe look for a higher mitigation, and then a trade in the same direction that I originally predicted. So yeah, that's sort of one way that I do it. There's another concept I wanted to just show you quickly as well, and it's just the concept of mitigations into supply or demand zones, and you know the way in which that they tend to work in certain situations. Now, I'm sure you've probably noticed, you know, if you're someone who's been on the charts for quite a while, you'll probably notice the amount of times where you get just get like a zone, right? Say this one here, right at the start of the inefficiency to the base. Now you'll see it come in, and you'll see it mitigate, and then you'll see it move off, right? But you won't see it mitigate the 50%, and it will be just below the 50%. So if I was to mark in the 50% of this range in here, what you'll see is, right, is it just misses the 50%, and then it will pull off, and then you'll notice eventually it comes back round, mitigates the 50%, and then it goes. Now, I see this all the time. It's like a really common thing. I see it on all time frames. It just happens all the time. You'll see that first mitigation, and then you'll see a second one. Now, again, this is just a form of building liquidity. Now, as you can see on the left-hand side, because we had this massive push away and no real build-up of liquidity, it's highly likely that we are probably going to tap in, give a fake out, and then come back down before moving higher, right? And you can see that's literally what happens here. I mean, you do get, you know, a fake out again here. You know, this creates a low here, it breakouts here, and then it moves lower and liquidates this low. But because we haven't actually filled into this area here, I want to see it again happen from here, right? So as a minimum, you could probably expect that, you know, as we put away, you're probably going to break at least probably the last counter trend move. So as you can see in here, this was the little last counter trend candle in here. So you're probably going to see that high get run, which is what happens. So once we see this get run, this is now telling me that, you know, people are buying, you know, as we break in higher, they're buying above here, you know, and where they're going to put your stop. Your stop's going to go below the low, right? Now, price could have gone from here, right? Price could have gone from here. That would have been absolutely fine. You might have been able to get involved, maybe get a break even, you know, absolutely fine. But times when that doesn't happen, you're going to notice that it gives the fake out, and then you're going to see it come all the way back down, and you're going to see it take this low out. Now when it takes that low out, you know, this is confirming to me that liquidity was generated in this push up. It's tricked a lot of people to get in early. It's swept them, taken their orders below these lows, and then what you'll see is then we get the true move which you predicted all along to these highs. Now this is just a really obvious thing that you notice all the time if you just look at these supply and demand zones for long enough. You normally see it if you don't see the mitigation of the 50%. You'll just see the top half mitigated, some kind of fake out, and then it will come back down and go. Now obviously if you have enough confirmation and enough, I mean, even if we did break this high, we pulled back, we broke again, you started to see some like a bit of a demand chain forming, then by all means take the trade, because it could easily hold, right? But if you're just seeing these early signs of these first breakouts, lots of inefficiency and space left on the left hand side, you want to see it sweep something, you want to see it trick people, sweep that, and then go, right, so here's where you want to be looking to get involved on a lower time frame. I'm sure there's breakers of structure and entries in this area in here, and that's how you can then predict the true move up. So yeah, guys, so that's pretty much just a couple of ways that you can spot liquidity. I found that they're quite easy and quite simple things to look for. You're just looking to see how each breaker structure forms, and also just looking at the reactions that we get within our demand and supply zones, looking for those initial breakouts, thinking to yourself, okay, where are the FOMO traders getting in? You don't always want to be the first person in the market. It's good to sometimes wait, see how price develops, wait for enough confirmation, and then get involved in the trades. So yeah, hopefully you took something away from that video. I'm going to leave that one here for now. If you did want any more content on liquidity pools, things like that, I'll probably do another video on high time frame liquidity, probably looking at 4-hour structure breaks, and the same on the daily, and just how that all ties in together as well. So stay tuned for that. If you did have any questions or anything, feel free to leave them down below, or just send me a message. And yeah, if you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up. If you're new and you want to see more, please subscribe. I'll see you next time.